Welcome, everybody. I'm Michael from Boredom Sated.
And I'm Boris from Boredom Sated.
Today, we're dealing with our continuation in our demi-human vampire series, and we've come to the lovable and very personable dwarven vampire.
Lovely, the grumpy bloodsucker.
As if he wasn't grumpy enough to start with.
Yeah.
The dwarven vampire is, well, to say he's a loner, that's pretty much all vampires, except for human ones. They tend to like to congregate. But the dwarven vampire is already he's gruffy in real life. He's even an undead. Being undead makes him even worse. He tends to like to stay underground a lot. Right. This guy among vampires, let's just say his abilities definitely reflect his undead nature. He gains an extremely useful ability, similar to the elven vampire's ability to walk through wood. He gets to walk through stone.
Yep. And tremor sense, which is value added. The interesting thing, though, that I find is, whereas other racial vampires, they summon animals that are attuned to their sort of race.
Yeah.
The dwarf, for some reason, gets to summon wolverines, which is, I don't know how that is appropriate to the dwarf.
Are stubborn.
That's why. Well, Thacuans, and of course, the most deadliest of them all, the badger.
I think that badgers are supposed to be ill-tempered as well. They suit. I don't know about the
so it's not a regular badger; it's an ill-tempered badger.
Exactly. He doesn't like to be woken up by this stupid dwarf in the middle of the night. It's like, what does he want? Now these vampires don't generally. The dwarven vampire doesn't charm you. It doesn't like you at all. So it'll fear gaze you. So you got to roll a will save or you'll run away, pretty much.
Pretty much.
And it's... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So again, we're reading this all from 3.5 edition,
yes.
And the stat lines are ridiculous as you get older. But with the Ravenloft being released soon, I really hope. And we've discussed it, that I hope they add the different demi-human vampires. Of
course, yes.
But I really hope they expand into their, attitude and all that, because I really,
The attitude is... it's a dwarven vampire. He's gruffy as hell. He's an edgelord.
I know, but I really want to read that, from the role-playing perspective.
Of course. So this, for the dwarven vampire, his ability targets his special touch attack, drains strength, 1d4 strength per hit. Now this, of course, is devastating against. I'm not just talking about fighter types because it reduces their effectiveness, but this is a dump stat for all casters for the most part, and most rogues. So this can paralyze a character very quickly. You hit the mage, for instance, if you get close enough to him, 1, 2, maybe 3 hits, he's done. Yep. He can't move. And you've eliminated one combatant, and then you use your stonewalking to leave.
You eliminated the most efficient combatant against you.
Yeah,
because the spells. Yeah,
the one that can do the most amount of versatility. That if you are the vampire, you don't know what they can do. I mean, a fighter fights rogues, and the cleric is the one that you need to stay away from because they can do all sorts of nasty things. But the mage, depending upon the skill of the mage and their repertoire of spells, it could be the most unpredictable member of your enemies. Yep. And again, they can stonewalk away. And an interesting aspect of their, physiology, like all vampires in 3.5 can regenerate pretty much, fast heal rather. But the dwarven vampire doesn't fast heal that quickly above ground. But below ground, he's a monster. He absolutely generates so much faster underground, it's not even funny.
Yep, definitely. So, and I think that's very interesting, that they, with all the other demi-humans, that they do change things and change the environment and favorite all of that. It really adds a unique flavor to all of them.
Yes, definitely. Now let's
Now,
get to how to repel these
repelling them. Right.
bastards.
They recall from mirrors, which is in line with your basic,
Mm,
or a strongly presented holy symbol, again in line. They
yeah.
cannot cross an unbroken line of metal shavings. Okay, that's I guess
It's
that's
it's 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 elemental things like like the
right,
flower thing with the elven vampires. It's just something that reminds
right,
them what their former life is.
right.
Yes.
And they can't even cross it even when stone walking.
Yeah.
So, which is very important. Now, the most interesting thing is, if you know there are dwarven vampires out there, you just build your house out of wood.
Yes, that's fun.
It totally horrible for the three little pigs because the bad wolf will come and blow it down. But you know that dwarven vampire won't come in.
Now here's a question. Now they can't enter a house unless it's made of earth or stone. Okay.
Yeah.
How about brick? Does that count? Because you have to make that. Yeah, you have to make a brick.
Well, it's
Right?
stone. Brick is stone. Yeah,
Well, no. Well, you
and
can
it's
make clay.
made
You can
from
make clay
earth,
bricks.
mud.
Okay, I guess that counts. I mean, it's just something slightly different. So obviously, it's wood or nothing else.
Right, right,
Wood at this
pretty
point.
much. Well,
But
no, you can make your house out of straw.
that's good. The dwarf vampire's like, I can't get in. Oh, whoops! What's the Splint and Tinder doing here? I seriously doubt that's a good idea.
Well,
You
I was
it's
just
a house on
going back
steroids.
to the
That's
three
nuts.
little piggies.
You're the three little piggies. Uh, Now, these things are fearsome combatants, to say the least.
Right.
Um, all of the vampires in Ravenloft get stronger with age, but and their stats all increase tremendously. But certain types from race to race, it modifies what their ability boosts are different. For the
Yeah.
dwarven vampire, it is a brute. It has the highest strength bonus of any vampire, and it is just and charisma. Would you believe? The other dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom modifiers that increase are fairly average, but this is physically the strongest in terms of the
Right.
bonus it has.
It could technically have over 30
Yes,
strength.
yes, very
It-
easily.
Yeah.
It's scary as how
Yeah.
strong this thing is. It's also pretty spell resistant as well. It gets a bonus to gets an innate spell resistance, and
Right.
like everybody else.
Now, the most fun, as with all of the demi, how do you slay these things?
Uh, this is now this
So,
is kind of weird in terms of what there's usually in most of these things have like three basic ways to kill a vampire. This is not universal, but three basic ways is one is sunlight or some environmental condition like that, or
right,
for the elf it's nighttime. Then there's something about water, and then there's the most difficult method, and with the demi-humans, the most expensive method, which usually is steak and then some other horrible thing. For the dwarven vampire, sunlight turns them to stone, which is kind of weird, but there you go.
yep,
It doesn't destroy them though. They can if someone casts a stone to flesh spell, they can be revived. So it's not a permanent way to kill them. You're like,
right.
hey, it's stone, we won. No, you didn't.
Now, it's not holy water, but it's mineral spring that burns them.
yeah, yeah.
So now it's not only just spring water; it's mineral spring water.
Uh,
So, those are just everywhere.
if I was if they have dwarven vampire, I'd move so far, like into a city where there's no mineral springs whatsoever anywhere within
Yep.
like 20 miles. Like you'd be invincible.
Right.
Oh grief! And it's
And,
hard,
and
and you have to hold them down in that thing for 3 rounds. Okay, this thing is as strong as heck, and it's touching you. You have to grapple this thing and hold it down. It's draining you while you're holding it up. Yeah, in 3 rounds,
Yep.
it can turn even the strongest fighter into a baby in terms of strength. I mean,
right. Yeah, it's not a fun thing to do.
you have to go like
Now-
about 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the steak is also, you can't just steak it with a regular steak.
No,
You can't even make, and it's not even make a steak out of stone.
no.
It's a steak of natural stones, such as stalagmites or stalactites.
Again, I'm
And
a dwarf. Stay away from caves.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like every cave has stalagmites and stalactites. It's not even in every cave, so it's a pain in the butt to find the proper stake to hold it down. But
However, it gets worse.
it gets worse. So after you find the stalagmite or tite,
Yeah.
so you can stake it.
Yeah.
The way to really permanently destroy it, uh, requires you to cut out its heart,
Mhm.
soak it in oil for 3 days, and then burn it in a dwarven forge,
Okay.
uh, to the point where the heart is completely reduced to ash.
Yeah.
The rest of the vampire body crumbles to dust at that point.
All right, 3 days you have to waste with this oil and pickling a heart, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
pickling the heart, just sort of sitting around, it's like, what are we gonna do? I don't know. We gotta finish it. First of all, who thought of that? Whoever thought of that? It was like,
But
what
who
kind of
thought
pickle
of?
way?
But who thought of any of the ways you slay any of the demi-human vampires? It's the most look.
Convoluted way.
And the worst thing with Ravenloft, you very rarely do you start as a native of Ravenloft.
Yeah.
Most of the time in the game, you start and you're transformed in there.
Sure.
So, in your knowledge base and your lore base,
No idea.
you don't have that.
You know what? Just to be funny, next time if I come up with a vampire, but it's not the established one, like maybe a lizard man vampire or something, or catfolk vampire, I'm gonna come up with some convoluted way to kill it that costs the group money. Like you have to use a silver shard of a mirror that's worth at least 500 gold pieces to stake it, but that's not all. I'm like, no,
It's
leaving.
some of this, but look, if you have to slay it, you have to slay it, and you sacrifice the money. That I totally get. But
Yeah.
how are you figuring it out if you don't? If it's not part of your lore system?
And who would be still alive that knows it? If they were a vampire that even suspects that a member of probably their race would have maybe the idea of how to do it. If I even suspected, just using logic here, and the vampire is pretty damn intelligent.
Yeah, they
get
+8. Dwarven vampires get +8 to their intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I wouldn't beeline for that person and either kill him or make him my minion. Make him another dwarven vampire. But yeah, this is one of the. It could be one of the toughest physical fights you can ever have.
Right.
And trying to kill the damn thing is is ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's fun. The one thing it is fun.
Yes, it is. It is interesting trying to figure out the ways of combating this thing. You actually have to think outside the normal box in order to see what would the antithesis of this creature be. What would he enjoy in life? Most likely is the thing that hurts him in undeath, which I like. I really do like. Like if I have a catfolk vampire, it'd be repelled by catnip or something. Something like that. Or it would be distracted by a ball of string. I don't know. something like that.
Oh, you can't. It will never approach you as long as you present a ball of string.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the ball of string though?
Exactly. So there's a dwarven vampire for you, and this is Boris from Board and Seder. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please hit the little notification. We really would appreciate it. So have a great day.
And see you next time.